So Kayla and I met about 8 years ago.
At the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market.
A little too cute for TV.
Too cute, but we both spent so much time there.
She was working for the organization.
And as a chef, David would be shopping there every weekend.
She ended up coming to my restaurant a couple weeks later.
Just kept running into each other.
I sent her a dish. My cooks are like, yeah, go chef. And ever since then, we've been together.
We've kind of like mind melded into the same person, I feel like. But the things that we're good at are so different.
She's careful and considered. I am a man of the moment.
He can't use computers, and I kind of can use computers.
I am Neanderthal discovering fire.
I mean, it makes sense now in retrospect that we would both have the same kind of passions, but it's crazy looking back now to think that we turned all of those things and our relationship into this business together.
This is 100% mixed with a little bit of white and coconut milk chocolate. And then I had these lying around, the little pieces we pulled off of the caramelized Marconas. So they're like little candies. I thought you could figure something out to do.
That's awesome.
No, all this will get used. This part you have to cook in order to be edible, right?
The stalk? Yeah, I think so.
It's very fibrous. Is there anything that you need to push through?
We have a lot of celery root.
Celery root? Okay. Yeah.
Sweet and juicy, yeah, try it.
Thank you. See you later.
As a chef, you make relationships with farmers, so you get to hearing about what their problems are. And a lot of their stuff doesn't get sold. Maybe it's greens that get a little wilty or radishes that are a little bit too soft. They're like, no, just take it. We're gonna toss it anyway. Oftentimes there's surplus like that people don't think about when you're talking about food waste.
We saw more and more farmers suffering because of broken supply chain and restaurants closing. We realized we could take all of those pieces and maybe like solve a few different issues at the same time. And we thought we could do that more readily through opening up a restaurant and actually letting people experience a sustainable choice and have a good time while doing it. Food was a huge part of my upbringing. I was interested in it through an environmental perspective. I mean, it was never in my plan to open up a restaurant, but of course for my partner, that's always been a dream of his.
I've been in the industry 22 years. I knew from the time that I was 11 that I wanted to be a chef. We get to play with knives and fire, and you get to create art all at the same time. What could be better than that?
It feels very serendipitous that we have this restaurant now. It became a really great way to merge these two interests that we have and speak to people in this very specific setting.
In the beginning, we're like, okay, we're just gonna bootstrap this thing.
We did a Kickstarter and we thought, no problem, we can open this place on that much money.
Oh, how naive that was. There were some dark days. There was like literally no walls in this place. Basically all the funds got stolen by a real dirtbag contractor. All electrical and all plumbing had to be replaced. We learned a lot of lessons.
We have a high capacity for stress and it was kind of like, just get it done.
We literally made all of the tables, poured all the bar tops, sourced every single lampshade, every single fixture.
The design, I think we really just wanted to do something fun and crazy because how else are you gonna get people to come to a food waste restaurant?
Especially when you're talking about a topic that's so heavy, like climate change. You want people to be along with you for the journey.
We wanted to really give people a different look of what environmentalism looks like. We also just had a great time building it out. Anytime we came up with an idea, we were just like, how do we make that even weirder?
People are like, what is this place? Press is all over this thing because it just looks like a madhouse, you know? And then finally, doors open, it's mayhem. Making a new dish today. So we're gonna pair like a dill stem. We always have all kinds of stems and leftovers from all of our own prep. Some garlic, aquafaba. This is a killer little dip. We're gonna hit this with a bit of salt, boom, and then a lot of stem. Oh, ASMR right there. Boom. Let's give it a quick little taste. Oh, every time. It's delicious. So that's going to go on our massive pile of little fried fish later. I think traditionally all chefs think about what's being wasted from the cost perspective. We run off of very fine margins. Other than that, there's not really a ton of concern for waste. And I think that's the way that our food system operates. It's the way that when we go to the grocery store, that's the way we purchase. We look for that perfect tomato. If it's got a bruise on it, oh, we don't want that. It's just a symptom of this broken food system that we have.
People don't really see what's behind the scenes, and they don't know people that produce their food. So I think there's this massive disconnect where people think food is disposable.
Every single pizza that you order, the dough starts off doing something better for the planet than any other pizza you've ever eaten.
Every dish in our menu has like 3 to 5 different upcycled ingredients in it. In the produce category, there's cosmetically irregular produce or farm surplus. The protein side, we are using all offcuts. And then the other side of that is byproducts of food manufacturing. That includes the upcycled oat flour in our dough, the whey from our cheese making process. It's not a novel concept, really, it's an old concept to just use whatever you have. We're also not perfect, but if we all did a little bit more at an imperfect level, we would be way better off. It's easy to blame really big industries for all of our environmental problems, and that is a huge contributor. But for food waste, a huge part happens at the consumer level, so it is our daily choices that we're making. Hopefully, a little bit more awareness actually begins to shift some of those choices by giving people an option to eat a fun meal and that be a sustainable, environmentally minded choice. Maybe we are at least one step in helping people change their lifestyle. The best part about working together,
We don't ever get sick of each other.
we don't even feel like we work together. Like at the end of the night, we're like, oh my God, how are you? How's your night tonight?
Anytime we're like in a rush and like look up and I see her, I'm like, oh, there's Shuggie. You know, there's just nothing better than being able to look up and see the person that you love the most right there all the time.
Seeing this space, especially right now, empty, I acknowledge how much work we've put in to make this possible. And at the same time, I feel like it just has this whole different life when people are here. The most amazing thing to me is that people continue to come and are willing to take this like mini leap of faith to go have a dinner at a food waste restaurant. You know, that takes a little bit of belief in what we do. We've created something that people are willing to engage in and potentially change their relationship to the planet. We did a lot of work to make it happen, but really I think it's other people coming in and believing in the same thing that continues to make me happy with what we've created here.